Can I talk to you for a second? I promise I'm not here to tell you to just love yourself. I know it's not that simple. You wake up, and before you've even had the chance to breathe, you're aware of it. The weight of being seen, the mirror, the clothes, the camera on your phone, even just catching your reflection in the window when you weren't expecting it. That tiny second where everything inside you twists, like you've been caught doing something wrong. I know that feeling. I know how heavy it is to move through a world that keeps telling you what you should look like, how much space you're allowed to take up, what version of you would finally be enough. And I know how easy it is to internalize all of it. How even on good days you still catch yourself cataloging what you'd change if you could. The things you hide, the photos you delete, the angles you avoid. You start to think that being at peace with yourself is for other people. People who fit the right shapes. People who don't have to think about it every second of every day. But I just want to say this. You don't have to earn your right to exist in the body you already have. You don't need to be smaller or bigger or tighter or smoother or different in any other type of way before you deserve kindness. You're allowed to just be here, exactly as you are right now. And I know that sounds simple, but it's a radical thing. To stop fighting yourself, to stop seeing your body as an enemy and start recognizing it as a home. You've been surviving in it all this time, even when you've hated it, even when you've heard it. It's kept showing up for you, heartbeat after heartbeat and breath after breath. You don't owe it perfection. You don't owe it love. You just owe it gentleness. So, before we go anywhere else, just breathe, okay? Right here, right now. In and out. And in and out. You know what's strange? We get taught that beauty is a kind of debt, that we owe it to the world to be pleasant to look at, to make the effort to not let ourselves go. And we hear it so often that it starts to sound reasonable. Like being seen is something we have to perform. But listen, you don't owe beauty to anyone. Not to strangers, not to partners, not to people who stare or scroll or judge. Not even to the version of yourself you thought you would be by now. Your body is not a public service. It does not exist to please other people's eyes. It's not a problem to solve. You don't have to smile in every photo. You don't have to wear the things that make you anxious just to prove confidence. You don't have to pretend you don't care when some days you do. You're allowed to want to feel good in your skin, but you're also allowed to admit that it's hard. That some days it feels like this whole world is built around the body you don't have. And when that happens, you don't need to fix yourself to belong. The problem was never you. It was the story you were told. That beauty is the rent we pay for being visible. You don't owe anyone that rent. Your body is already doing something incredible. It's keeping you alive. With every heartbeat, every breath, every tiny process that happens without you even asking for it. And that's not failure. That's resilience. And you can start from there. From gratitude, not punishment. From curiosity, not control. It doesn't mean you have to love everything you see. It just means you stop fighting it. You stop making every reflection a battlefield. Because this skin, this shape, this form is not your enemy. It's the only body you get to live in, and it's already doing its best for you. You know, I think we get scared of the idea that we have to love our bodies like it's another standard we're supposed to meet, another thing to fail at. But love isn't the only language you can speak to yourself in. You don't have to stand in front of a mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful if that word still feels too big, too sharp. You can start smaller than that. You can start with, this is mine. This body is mine. It doesn't have to be pretty to deserve care. It doesn't have to be celebrated to be worthy of gentleness. You can still care for something that hurts you. You do it all the time, with people, with memories, with parts of yourself that ache. You can feed yourself because your body deserves nourishment, not because you earned it. You can rest because you're tired, not because you've ticked off enough on a list. And you can move because it feels good, and not because you need to change the shape of you. That's not giving up. That's giving grace. And I know how hard it is to exist in a body that doesn't always feel like home. To be aware of it in every reflection, every picture, every passing thought. To feel trapped between wanting to care for it and wanting to escape it. But maybe care isn't about fixing. Maybe it's about listening. Listening when it hurts. Listening when it's tired. Listening when it asks for gentleness. You don't have to wait until you love your body to treat it kindly. You can practice kindness now and let the rest catch up later. You can be patient with it. You can let it be what it is. A living thing, trying, healing, carrying you forward. You've survived in this body through everything. Every bad night, every moment you wished you were different. And It's still here, still breathing and still trying. And that's not something to hate. That's something to honor. Hey, before you start picking yourself apart again, just pause for a second, okay? Just breathe. In. Out. In. Out. In. And out. That's it. You don't have to stand in front of the mirror right now. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to prove you've made peace with yourself. You can just exist. You are not your reflection. You're not a photograph or a measurement or a number. You're not the comments people made or the comparisons you learned too young. You are the person inside all of that. The one who laughs when something catches you off guard, who hums without realizing, who reaches for kindness even when you're tired. That is you. That's who you are. And you've spent so long believing your worth lives in the mirror, but it doesn't. It lives in the way you show up for others, in the way you love, in the way you notice small, quiet things that no one else sees. And that's beauty too. The kind that doesn't fade, the kind that's always been yours. You don't have to like every part of yourself to be gentle with it. You don't have to feel confident to deserve softness. You just have to stop fighting. You just have to let yourself be human. You are worthy right now. Not someday when you change, not when you finally fit into something, not when you fix what was never broken. Right now, exactly as you are. So, when that harsh voice starts again, the one that tells you you're not enough, I want you to remember this moment. Remember that you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to apologize for existing in your own skin. You've spent enough of your life being at war with yourself. You can rest now. You can let that truce begin. Your body is not the enemy. It's the place where you live. And it deserves kindness, especially from you. You are not your reflection. You are everything that shines beneath it.